Artists, today you are going to be using the technique of printmaking to create a composition using organic shapes. Now we know organic shapes are shapes that are made up. So you're going to be cutting out some organic shapes of your own to create a composition. Now with your ink, you are going to put the ink on your jelly plate first. Your jelly plate is this flexible piece of rubber. I like to work dark to light, so with my blue ink, I'm rolling across, diagonal, side to side. I'm listening for that crackle of bacon. When I hear that crackle of bacon, that means there's just the right amount of ink on my roller. I am going to use the roller to ink up my jelly plate. I'm trying to make sure that there's a nice even amount, that the ink isn't too goopy, that it's nice and smooth, and then I can lay my organic shapes on top. So when we think about design, the numbers 3, 5, and 7 are usually most intriguing to a viewer. So notice how when I lay the shapes down, I'm not trying to smudge that surface. I'm just very carefully laying them down and pressing only where there's paper. You're going to be using scrap paper to cut out your own organic shapes, and they could be any shapes that you would like. Remembering, an organic shape is a shape that's made up. You could think about incorporating some negative space. Negative space is when there's some space on the inside that's missing, kind of like a donut. A donut has negative space. So once I have my plate inked up, I have my shapes on top, I haven't smudged, I'm going to lay my paper on top right in the middle. So see how I'm slowly going down? I also can use these fingers to guide my paper so it goes right to the middle. Don't let it wiggle. Press it down and give your stamp or your printing plate a back rub. I need to rub really well, make sure I get all the corners and the edges. Rubbing that ink onto my paper and then carefully peel it up. I have a really, really light print. That's okay. If it's really, really light, that's fine. That might work out well. Peel these up and try my next color. My next color I'm going to use is red. I'm working dark to light. That's what I think looks best. You could work light to dark. You could go any color order that you would like. This is what I'm going to try though. So remember, I'm rolling my brayer back and forth, diagonal, across, and I'm trying to hear that crackle of bacon so that I know I don't have too much ink on my roller. All right, rolling the ink on my printing plate. Making sure it's nice and even. Hopefully a little bit thicker than that blue layer. All right, and then laying my shapes on top. Remember, you get to cut out your own organic shapes so they can look like whatever you would like. These organic shapes that I made this time are a little bit more geometric. All right. Laying my paper on top, trying to get it to line up with the blue. So I go really slow. Once my paper touches the ink, I don't let it wiggle, and I rub the back. Each corner. Give it a good back rub and peel it up. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. All right, I have one last color left in my primary color series, and that is yellow. And there is my organic shape print. Now I have done each color and I have done all sorts of different organic shapes. But if I would like, I could do one more print. That's about all I can get out of this one before my colors get too muddy. So I'm going to peel up the shapes and you're going to do what's called a ghost print. A ghost print is one last print with just the ink that's left on the jelly plate or the printing plate. So as close to the middle as I can, laying it down without any shapes. This ghost print serves two purposes. One is to get any extra ink off. So if I have some time in class left, I can start that whole process of inking up my plate again. The second is because ghost prints are kind of surprising. You might get some really cool after effects with the ghost print. Ooh, like that one. That one looks really cool. I can just see the faded marks of those shapes that I put on. So I have these two prints. I need to make sure my name and class code goes in the bottom right corner. And these can go in the drying rack on a messy mat to dry. I can't wait to see your prints, 4th grade.